Let's talk a little bit about time management. First of all, time management is not about squeezing every second out of the day or actually filling up our schedules to the brim with so many activities, so many tasks. That's not good time management. Time management is about making conscious choices, prioritizing what truly matters, and then bringing our actions into alignment with our goals. So you have goals. I have goals. We have goals. We want to make those goals. We have to manage our time in order to reach those goals. Well, how do you do it? We're going to briefly cover 4 ways to successfully manage our time. If you implement these methods, now there, of course, you can go on YouTube and Google. There's so many other principles that you can research for yourself, but these are 4 that I found personally to benefit me in my daily schedule. Look at 4 ways, and then we'll find out how executing these principles it'll help us to see that we actually have not only enough time, but we'll have more than enough time to care for what we need to do in order to reach our goals. That's what we want, right? So here's the first way. First, it involves self-awareness. Self-awareness. That's right. What does that mean? You have to make an honest assessment of yourself. We need to understand our own strengths, our weaknesses, our patterns of behavior. Like, think for yourself, like, what time of day am I most productive? Is it in the morning? Is it in the afternoon or in the evening? Some do better in the morning, like myself. Whatever that time is, tackle your most important tasks during that time of day. But that requires self-awareness. We got to be honest with ourselves. What else does it involve? Let's go to the second step. It takes self-discipline. Self-discipline. We have to discipline ourselves in order to reach our goals. In fact, you have to have the stop and go method. Stop and go. You have to stop procrastinating and stop focusing in on trivial things, trivial matters that don't really matter. They may be pleasurable. They may be, but they're time wasters. They're time wasters. They don't help you to reach your goal. And it takes self-discipline to get up and go and do what's necessary to reach your goal. So we got to be self-disciplined. The third principle, it has to do with embracing the power of organization and planning. In order to accomplish any goal, I'm sure you'd agree, it takes organization. And you have to plan to be successful. In fact, if you fail to plan, you're planning to fail. So you want to create a schedule, set deadlines, and break down your goals into smaller, actionable steps. This will help you to make progress every day. You see, a goal without a plan is just a dream. But see, good planning and organization will help you to make that dream become a reality. One good method to implement is called the Parkinson's Law. If you implement this, it's a nice little point that'll help you to be more organized. Take a look here.
Changing. Principle number 6 is related to something called Parkinson's Law, which is that work expands to fill the time that we allocate to it. So if I have to film a YouTube video in a day and I give myself the whole day to film that YouTube video, inevitably it's going to take all day to film the YouTube video. Whereas if I only give myself half an hour or an hour to film the YouTube video and I fill my day up with other things, then inevitably I get the video done in that small amount of time. And so the actionable advice here is to leverage artificial deadlines.
So you notice? Leveraging artificial deadlines. What are artificial deadlines? These are deadlines we create for ourselves that will make us more productive. Why? You see, because of the time constraints you've created for yourself. Like, for instance, if you have a task that you know you can get done within 30 minutes to an hour. Well, don't just say, I'm going to give myself all day to get that done or 4 hours to get it done. Focus in on getting it done within 30 minutes to an hour. You see, it'll force you to plan better. It'll force us while we engage in that activity to work harder with increased focus. This will help us lead to progress. And now what's our final point? The fourth principle for good time management is we need to sharpen our axe. What do we mean by that? We'll take a look at this brief video.
The third tip comes in the shape of a story. Once upon a time, there was two lumberjacks that made a bet to see who could cut down more trees in a 24-hour period. The first man was a huge, burly man that was very muscular, and the second guy was a smaller guy that was small and wiry. They both got off to a great start, chopping and chopping. But as the day went on, both men started to get tired. The larger man looked out of the corner of his eye and he saw the smaller guy going off to take a break. And he thought, this is my chance. And so he started going harder and harder, putting a little bit more muscle behind every single swing. At the end of the day, they went and compared piles to see who had cut down the most amount of trees. And surprisingly, the smaller guy had cut down twice as much as the larger guy. The larger guy said, this is not possible. There is no way. First of all, I'm way bigger. I'm way stronger. I worked harder. And on top of that, I watched you taking a break every 45 minutes. You must have cheated. The smaller guy looks up with him with a smile and says, I didn't cheat. It was easy to beat you because for every hour I spent chopping down trees, I spent 15 minutes sharpening my axe.
You get the point? It makes sense, right? We have to take time to what? Sharpen our axe. You know, you can work, 12 hours a day. We can work 8 hours a day. Working to the midnight oil. You see, you just burning up all this energy, thinking that we're being productive. But if we don't take time to sharpen our axe, build yourself up spiritually, physically, go run. You got to take time to work out, go to the gym, build yourself up emotionally, mentally. You see, this is sharpening the axe. You see, without that sense of fulfillment that we get from sharpening our axe, we go from managing time to wasting time. And that's not going to help us reach our goals. Well, now, that brings us to our last point. How is it that by implementing these principles, will it make us feel as if we have more time? Not as if we have more time, but we'll realize that we do actually have more time. Notice how this is illustrated. So you can see just by the video, by prioritizing on what matters most in life, we find that we have more than enough time. You see, we don't need more time. We have more than enough. It's all going to work out for us in helping us reach our goals by how we manage that time. So we encourage you, embrace the power of time management in everything that you do, not only when it comes to annual enrollment or selling any kind of any form of product of insurance, but in your daily life, embrace the power of time management, because if you master it, then and only then will you make every second count. Thank you for your time.